Jeez, oh Pete, I'll tell you, I just keep hitting the finding the cult movies, finding certain flicks in the world that you just find, and you're like, huh, so that's where they got their career from. That's where a couple of certain actors first started as kids. And in this case, I am talking about Explorers with River Phoenix and Ethan Hawke. Yes. This is a 1985 sci-fi slash children's film directed by Joe Dante, who did Gremlins 1 and 2, Howling, and Looney Tunes Back in Action, amongst many, many other movies, but those are the most popular that people would know. It is a 1 hour, 46-minute movie with a budget that was of 20 to 25 million in 1985, but ultimately made 9 million because of a couple of reasons. Paramount asked the Dante stop editing the movie so that way it could be released right after Live Aid. Yes, the Queen performance, and it also faced competition with Back to the Future. So at the time, it was a box office bomb, but because of VHS rentals, which need to make a comeback, this movie got a cult following. So pretty much, it's like three kids dream of reaching outer space and finding the life out there, and through rather great sequences, they manage to find it. Yes, they do. They're River Phoenix, Ethan Hawke, and Jason Preston they're endearing and lovable, and you can really tell you root for them, you love them. They have enough presence, enough separate personality that makes the film the film. So things that stand out. There are three separate sequences of what is called vector graphics, or drawings, pretty much just like 3D rendering for 1985 of the town. This little sphere, I guess, that they can control, which eventually powers a tilt-a-whirl ride that they somehow manage to get all the way up to outer space. There are some other, but of course there are so many other sci-fi references. I didn't exactly have a problem with it, but I can see people having a problem with it because it's a celebration of sci-fi movie. This includes War of the Worlds, It Came from Outer Space, Star Wars, Forbidden Planet, amongst those are the ones that I recognize. But having a 1950s references in the 1980s that a person is watching in 2024, what a sequence. Yeah. Hey, so looking at my notes here, blah blah blah. Oh, here's something kind of funny. One of the characters' names. There's a family that names their children after classical composers. Seriously. Ludwig, Wolfgang, Johann, Frida, and there's also Heinlein, that's a cat. Is a hamster. Heinlein pushes buttons for communications, like, I would like some cheese. So I guess, what is that, like Pavlov's dog, where pushes a button, and receives a treat? Another sci-fi reference is Metaluna. I can actually believe all the sci-fi and everything else going on. It's believable. It seems over the top, but it is believable, especially with all the sci-fi craze going on in the 1980s because of E.T. Some of this is E.T., some of this is Star Trek. So, I like that. They also mentioned Journey to the Center of the Earth. There's also a German for no inertia. TRAGHEITS. It's almost 2 in the morning. I'm a little tired. There's a dog that chews bubble gum. Seriously. We expect a child will. Yeah, again, this is all believable. It's all just good fun. Let's see. There's even the phrase "smooth move with X-Lax," which X-Lax is like, "Smooth move, X-Lax, you managed to clear my bowels." But then, of course, it was used sarcastically, so that was kind of funny. Oh yes. Let's see. There's a couple of nice sequences of which there is an in movie sci-fi house playing, and the boys managed to get like maybe roughly 15 feet from it, so people were all thinking, oh, it's just the special effects or whatever. But you just gotta love the narrative that's going on, the spoof playing with the tropes of like sci-fi movies and things like that, you know. There's like some very nice scenes of like where they're accelerating. You kind of see a red streak. Yeah, some of it is a little outdated. I will have to mention that, but it's made with integrity. Okay, that and everything is going well. You got the references, the music's fine. I mean, heck, Industrial Light and Magic helped with the special effects. That's right, George Lucas himself, his company at least, helped with it. That was until we get to the reason why it was rushed. The aliens. Just it. They watch Earth and see it's. They learn about it from all the movies. Johnny Carson, here's Johnny, and everything else, and trying to fit in a message of like, is it all humans do is just kill? And it's like, where did this come from? I'm guessing that Dante was trying to fit in, trying to do a satirization of the media and how it controls people and things like that. But it was okay for a while. It was enjoyable seeing the performance at the Robert Perioskis is one of the aliens, I think, who, because the makeup he had to wear was so heavy, it actually called lesions in his head, like little scars or whatever. And I can just only imagine how bad it was. I mean, just to give you an idea, Lassie. It took me 4 episodes to understand why the hairy child doesn't talk. Yeah, she can roll over, but that doesn't deserve a whole series. Kind of like mocking like how far that certain series will go just based on such a simple premise. It was an easy way to make money, pretty much, and kept people like that. And yeah, and it was going on, and it was okay right up until I'm going to spoil a 39-year-old movie. An alien dad appears speaking incomprehensibly. Apparently, the kids took the father's car, space car, for a joyride. Seriously. 5-10 minutes of just garbled transmission. That's the best way to describe it. Garbled transmission. That's a phrase you don't hear often, so take into effect. Because unfortunately, when the aliens come, he had a good idea of geez, talk about a dramatic decline. Oh my goodness. But, and then, so yeah. My thoughts. Very, very great right until the lackluster, until Dante not finishing editing the message you want to get across, and the dad. And maybe some of the sci-fi references might turn some people off, But yeah, there are enough logical leaps, because I like the way I was going. It was perfectly paced, but ultimately, I really, really do have to deduct points for just that sour taste in my mouth. So I guess if you want a movie that would make you feel like a kid again, stars 2 fantastic actors in their very first movie. If you want a good solid 6-7 movie out of 10 to let your mind be taken off, I recommend you watch Explorers.